What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today by the man, Sean Petrucci. How we doing, Sean?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Can't complain, as usual. You know the deal. But before we do get started tonight, talking about Derek Dietrich, the man, the myth, the legend. Everyone be sure, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're pumping out content all season, pre-games, post-games, record episodes. You guys know the deal. But today, big topic to talk about. If anybody is a fan of our live streams, you know how much I think that the Yankees should call up Derek Dietrich. So I'm like, you know what? Let's make a video about it. We could have a little debate going. I don't know. We'll see what your stance on it is. But I'll give my take on it first. First of all, we're looking at this Yankees lineup, and it's completely lifeless, right? I mean, not even in the sense of production, but kind of just like clubhouse chemistry, energy in the dugout, and whatnot. I think one guy who could be a perfect solution to that problem is Derek Dietrich. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Derek Dietrich is like Babe Ruth when it comes to performance on the field. However, I think he could be a better option than what the Yankees currently have, right? I think he's a better option than Rougned Odor. We kind of said that from the start. And I also think he could be a better option than Mike Ford as well. Mike Ford had an awesome 2019, but let's not forget he had a terrible 2020. I know he was pretty decent at the alternate site, but I think Dietrich could be that guy just because I think he's a better hitter than Rougned Odor. He's more versatile than Rougned Odor. And, bro, he's just more of a spark than Rougned Odor. We've seen what Derek Dietrich does on other teams. He's just a leader in that clubhouse, just with his energy, his passion, his drive. And I think that could be exactly what the Yankees need right now.
This is a really weird situation because when Derek Dietrich and Jay Bruce were brought in, it was like, okay, who's going to get the last bench spot? And is Dietrich going to make it over Tyler Wade? Now, that didn't happen. So he already had two obstacles in front of him. Jay Bruce experiment didn't work out. Tyler Wade gets sent down. Dietrich is still nowhere to be found. So the Yankees go out and they get Rougned Odor. And now Mike Ford, who's hitting well at the alternate site, like you said, I think that's why he's getting a chance. So there's four obstacles in front of Dietrich. Why did you bring him here?
Yeah.
Why'd you bring him here if you're going to go out and trade two prospects to go get a clone of him that is probably worse?
A worse clone.
Now, we're not saying Derek Dietrich is going to turn this season around and make the Yankees win 10 games in a row. He's not going to hit 300. He's not going to hit 30 home runs. But he's just a spark plug that we could use. And we could have got him not for free. We would have to pay him. But we didn't. If they brought him up, he didn't do well. Okay, then go get Odor. But it doesn't make the moves just don't make sense to me.
No, and that's my thing. It's like if the Yankees aren't high on Derek Dietrich, why would you sign him in the first place?
Exactly.
And that's why the acquisition of Rougned Odor doesn't make any sense. But if we're comparing Derek Dietrich right now to Mike Ford and Rougned Odor, the two guys who are currently on the roster that Dietrich would replace if the time would come, I think if you put them toe-to-toe, Dietrich is the best option out of all of them. Now, even putting his personality to the side right now, right? I think we're looking at a left-handed infielder with pop who plays basically anywhere on the field. I think the only positions he doesn't play are center field, shortstop, and catcher. I'm pretty sure he could play anywhere else. A tool like that on the bench is perfect, bro. I mean, Rougned Odor only plays second base, right? And he doesn't hit, he doesn't get on base. Derek Dietrich might not have the best batting average like Rougned Odor, but his on-base percentage makes up for it in every way. We're talking about a guy who had around a 197, I believe, batting average in 2020, but his on-base was in the 300s. Rougned Odor has not had a plus, I believe, not a plus 250 on-base percentage since 2018. I don't see what the Yankees see in Odor that they don't see in Dietrich. And I don't know if I'm just being a Dietrich fanboy or whatever, but the more I talk about it, the more it makes sense as to why this dude should be on the roster. And it boggles my mind that the Yankees just won't give him a chance. And I think the reason that I really hope isn't the reason, but it's because Odor is cheaper than Dietrich would be, because they would have to sign Dietrich to a major league contract, and they basically have Odor at the major league minimum because Texas is paying his entire contract.
Listen, if I don't know what the difference is in money there, but it's not a lot, I would assume. I mean, I'm not really sure, but listen, if that is why the Yankees aren't utilizing Derek Dietrich, then they have bigger problems because you're 5-10 or 6-10 now, excuse me.
There you go.
You're lifeless, it seems like, in the dugout. Now, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but during a game, we're used to seeing the Yankees with a ton of life. We're seeing none of that.
Yeah.
Now, the on-field production, that's why it makes sense to me. Like, you're not going to bring a guy up for personality. Like, a team is never going to do that. But he can produce better than the 4 guys that are above him on the totem pole. That's the most frustrating thing. And if you want to see what Derek Dietrich has, now is the time. Because when Luke Voit comes back, Odor's not going to play. Ford's not going to play. DJ's going to go back to second, and Voigt's going to play first. Now, I'm sure Odor will stick around on the bench in some capacity, but if you want to see what he's got, now's the time. And if Voigt comes back, everyone's healthy, I don't think Dietrich is going to ever get a chance, and I think he's just going to get DFA'd, or at least
it's so brutal because I would at least like to see him get a shot, right? Because like we've been saying, I don't think he would be any worse than Rougned Odor. I don't think it's
impossible. He would have to hit like 0.9.
Yeah, and kind of the way that people break this down is Derek Dietrich isn't a first baseman, right? But I wouldn't mind DJ LeMahieu there for the time being. And it gives you a little bit of versatility in the infield, right? Say you want to put Dietrich at first one game, you could leave the infield just the way it is. If you want to put Dietrich at second, you could put LeMahieu at first. If you want to put Dietrich at third, you could sit Gio one day. Because right now it's like, if you want to give Gio an off day, which you shouldn't because he's red hot, but let's say you do, because the Yankees love scheduled off days, you would have to put DJ at third, and then it would be Ford at first. It's just a little bit more complicated. If you have one guy who could essentially play every position, I know he's not an above average defender at all these positions, but just having a guy who can play all these positions is something that's very valuable on the bench. And that's why the utility man is such a valuable aspect in today's game, no?
That's another thing. It's like we don't even really need – listen, we need a bat. We need someone to help out these 3 or 4 guys that have actually been hitting the ball. But that, to me, that's not why Dietrich would be brought up.
Yeah.
He'd be brought up to hit 200, get on base at a 340, 330 clip.
Bro, I'd love that.
And just be able to fill in spots that we need. Like you said, even if you want to give Gleyber Torres an off day.
Yeah.
Put Gio at short.
Yeah,
put Dietrich
that's
at
what
third.
I'm saying. That's
like,
what I'm
he
saying.
just provides so much versatility, and the Yankees love their off days, and this would give them a bigger opportunity to do so.
Bro,
it just makes sense just until Voit comes back. Give the guy a chance. Give the guy a chance. Listen, he's not going to win a World Series, not going to win an MVP. We're not overrating him.
You don't know that.
We're just okay.
No,
we're rating him.
seriously.
I know, but we're rating him properly for what he can do for this team.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I think his personality is just something that adds into it. I use this analogy all the time, right? Bro, the Yankees are lifeless right now. You put Derek Dietrich juice inside the syringe, you inject it into the Yankees lineup. All of a sudden, that team has energy. I'm sorry. It just seems like he brings the energy wherever he goes. He could definitely wake up a Yankees lineup. All he needs is one go-ahead home run that he pimps, and all of a sudden the clubhouse is electric again. And I think he'd be a valuable piece on the bench, too, talking with guys. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I would like to see him prove me wrong. Actually, prove me right and wrong at the same time. Because if he does come up and just turns out to be a total bust, I'll admit, I'm glad to see that the experiment happened. It was worth a shot. Exactly. And I think that's the key. The Yankees have to bring him up because it's worth a shot at this point.
Yeah.
Anything to wake up this lineup.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why he's a Yankee right now is just injury insurance. I feel like as of right now, with everyone healthy, Derek Dietrich is not even in the conversation.
Yeah.
Realistically, I don't think he will ever wear pinstripes. And if he does, it'll be because somebody got hurt. I mean, that's just a realistic way of thinking if you're the Yankees. Why would we need to bring him up if we have 3 guys? Because guess what? If Odor goes down, guess who's coming up? Tyler Wade. It's not going to be Derek Dietrich. It's not going to be Derek Dietrich.
I don't think so. I think he would be the guy.
I don't think so. I personally think it would be Tyler Wade because it's the New York Yankees. We've already seen Aaron Boone say that Tyler Wade's going to be a big part of this team.
Listen,
I don't know how. I don't know how that would ever happen. He's not a better option than Derek Dietrich, but in the Yankees' eyes, I guarantee you he is.
Personally, Sean, I don't know if this is just my own personal optimism coming into play, but I do think we eventually see Dietrich in pinstripes. How he performs, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, right? But that is going to wrap things up for today. Listen, everyone knows how much I like Derek Dietrich. Hopefully we get to see him in the Bronx. I'd like to see what he could do. But everyone be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going live before and after every Yankees game this season, so make sure you do turn on post notifications so you do know when we go live. You guys know the drill. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. See you next time. Peace.